Hello, welcome to this new episode of the Alex Show TV. This episode is from July the 4th of the year 2025. Today is a Friday, and today we have a very serious, very important show. You have the strength and power to overcome depression. For me, depression is a very serious topic. I honestly feel is very real. It's something that affects millions of people in this planet. And because I've had close family members and close friends that have struggled with depression, is something very important. And so I want to clarify, I want to dimension that when I say you have the strength and power to overcome depression, some can take it personally and believe, hey, you're joking with this. There's no way you can overcome depression without a support system, without a specialist such as a psychiatrist, a psychologist, without even the use of drugs such as antidepressants. I want to clarify my point. This is very serious. I'm not saying it's easy, but I do believe you listening to me, and if you have struggled with depression or are struggling with depression, you have the strength and power to overcome it. Yes, I'm totally sure. We have 3 clips from a support video to watch, 3-minute clips each. Let's start with the first one, and I will continue giving you my thoughts on this very serious subject. You have the strength and power to overcome depression.
Let me tell you something. No one is going to come and save you. No one is going to take your problems and solve them for you. No one is going to carry your sadness and magically alleviate it. But here you are, looking for answers, looking for a way out. And that already means something. It means that deep down, a part of you knows that you can do something about it. And you can. You just need clarity. You need direction. Today I will talk to you about 5 Stoic rules, which if you decide to apply them firmly, will change the way you face life. 5 principles that the great Stoic philosophers, men who faced adversity with unbreakable strength, left us so we don't sink into misery and self-pity. They are tough rules, but life is not soft. Do not seek comfort in pretty lies. Seek the courage to change. Listen carefully. Reflect. And above all, act. Rule number 1. Stop considering yourself a victim. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask, am I a victim or am I choosing to be one? Because yes, it is a choice. I know you've been through tough things. Life is hard, unfair, cruel sometimes. But the difference between a strong person and a weak person is not what happens to them. It's how they decide to respond. The Stoics said that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control our reaction. Life can hit you hard, but if every time it does, you stay lying on the ground lamenting, telling yourself that the world is cruel and that you can't do anything, then you are your own worst enemy. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor who had to rule in times of war, betrayal, and plague, wrote in his Meditations, "Difficulty is the test of a man." Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to strengthen yourself. But if instead of seeing it as a test, you use it as an excuse to give up, then you are condemning yourself. Stop asking yourself why life is unfair. Ask yourself, what am I going to do about it? Rule number 2. Be honest with yourself. Here comes another truth, uncomfortable. Many times when we feel bad, it's not just because of what has happened to us, but because of the lies we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves that we are doing the best we can, when in reality, we know we could try harder. We tell ourselves that we are good people.
Okay, as the support video, the 3 clips are going to be very strong, very deep, they're amazing, very to the point. This is a serious subject, and if you're struggling with depression, my heart goes out to you. But I have to stick with my guns here and share with you that the solution is within you. Sure, it's great, it's totally acceptable, it's totally understandable that you're going to search for support because you feel you cannot do it on your own. That's perfectly fine, in my opinion. But trust me, the one that is going to cross the finish line is going to be you. It's not someone pushing you. And sometimes what I notice with some people with depression is really they are so deep in depression that they almost want or need that someone else carries them all the way to beating this situation. And that, in my humble opinion, is that why Some people stay in depression for 5, 10, or all their lives because they're constantly seeking that the out there is either responsible or is either gonna fix them, especially, for example, psychologists, psychiatrists, which are a support. They are not really the solution to beat depression. The support video, we're gonna watch 3 of them, so I'm gonna try to go fast here. If not, we're gonna be here for almost an hour. That I think the most important part is when the victim part is so important. And this came clear to me years ago in my 20s. When one time I was out there in the state of Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, in the US, the city of Birmingham, in the state of Alabama. I was there for 3 months. I was in a training to join a company in the UK as a consultant. They had an office in Alabama. And so I was there with other people from other parts of the world. And someone way wiser than me, way older than me, in his 50s, we became friends. We're assigned the same place as far as an apartment, kind of hotel, long-term hotel. And so we became friends. We went out for a drink, we went out to lunch or something like that, despite he was my dad's age, or even, I think, older at the time, actually. So I had a few issues, I had a few problems at home, even if I was out there in Birmingham. And I remember one time I was crying about it. He listened to it. And at the end, he says, "Are you done?" "Yes." "Okay, so you have a choice here. You can either, you are not a victim. You can victimize yourself, but you're never a victim. This is an idea we have," he says, that we are victims of the circumstances, that we're victims of the world. The truth is, we victimize ourselves. And I agree, as the support video says now, I agree completely. And that stuck to me because it felt not the support I was seeking at the time, which was pampering, which was almost, agreeing with me. It was quite strong position of saying, stop crying, stop victimizing yourself. You are not a victim. You are never a victim. So that's an important part. Leaving behind the victim mentality, which is a program of this reality. So we also seek for culprits, or we blame, the blame game. When you're a victim, there's a blame. I'm a victim because someone is doing something to me. There's a blame there. There has to be a culprit. And if there's a victim and a culprit, there's a component of a savior, which could be the government, the system, a religious figure, etc., etc., etc. So they love that triangle of savior, victim, culprit. You're a victim, you're weak, you're in your knees, you're asking your savior to take care of the culprit, so you stop being a victim. And when you're like that, you're never gonna stop being a victim, and you're gonna understand you don't need a savior because you're not a victim, and there's no culprit really, not out there and not in there, because sometimes we don't blame the out there. That's fine. That's a great position. But then we blame us when sometimes there's no blame at all. Things just happen. Sometimes life is. There's not really an explanation. Let's watch the second clip of the same support video. I'm gonna continue giving you my thoughts on this beautiful subject, this very strong subject of overcoming depression.
Rule number 3, act. The worst enemy of a depressed mind is inaction. And when you feel bad, the last thing you want to do is move, make decisions, face life. You prefer to stay in bed, avoid the world, wait for motivation to arrive as if by magic. But motivation doesn't come. Action is what generates motivation, not the other way around. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, live it." It's useless to read about personal development, watch motivational videos, or repeat nice phrases if you don't take action. The only way to get out of where you are is by moving. Do something, anything. Don't overthink, don't overanalyze, just act. Get up, exercise, call someone, finish a pending task, take a small step, but move. Inaction is what feeds sadness. Action is what destroys it. Ask yourself, what action can I take today, right now, that will bring me a little closer to where I want to be? And do it. Not tomorrow, not later. Now, rule number 4. Achieve something small. The depressed mind sees life as an impossible mountain to climb. You see everything you lack, everything you don't have, everything you should have done, and that paralyzes you. The Stoics knew that the key to progress is not in making big changes overnight, but in accumulating small victories. A little each day. You don't have to change your life completely today. You just have to do something that makes you feel like you've made progress. Seneca said, "Life is long if you know how to live it, and living it well means taking advantage of the present, not losing it in worry about the future or guilt about the past." Do you feel bad? Good. Instead of getting stuck in that feeling, do something small and tangible that gives you a sense of accomplishment. Organize your room. Learn something new. Write down your thoughts. Finish a pending task. Something, anything. Those small victories add up. And over time, they give you the confidence to face bigger challenges. Rule number 5. Find a purpose. What gets you up in the morning? What drives you to keep going, even when life is tough? If you don't have a clear answer, there's the root of your problem. The Stoics.
Well, that was amazing. That was amazing on the support video. And really 3 big points, 3 really important bullet points to talk about how to work with depression, how to try to beat depression. And the first one is act. And I see it a little bit differently, that of course acting is important. Of course. But one important fact of acting that helps is you stop thinking a little bit, or you think less. When you act, you think less. You act, you don't think, and you think about it. If you are totally not acting at all, if you're in bed, if you're really you're just going to start thinking. And the problem is that's going to take you to the egoic mind, or the ego in short. And I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't have your best interest at hand. The ego is a storyteller. The ego loves to tell stories and make up stories and exaggerate stories and overblow things. And that's what you're going to be stuck with if you don't act. If you put a little action, a little motion into when you are depressed, or when you're with a problem, or you're sad or something, you, in a way, are keeping the ego at bay, or keeping the ego less interested. If you are in total, not peace, because it's not peace, in total non-motion, if you are really stuck with thinking, overthinking, the ego is going to creep in, and really it's just going to make things more difficult. The second part of this support video that was also quite interesting, quite important, is shoot for little goals. You feel a little bit better than yesterday, you are on the right way. Don't expect for such difficult situation to be fixed in a day, in a week, in a month. Creeping out of depression sometimes takes months or years, and it's just to be expected, but look for those little victories. Go for little battles that become little victories. Don't try to win the war in a day. It's just not gonna work that way, okay? And trying to remember that, because there was a very interesting third thing. Sorry, I just forgot it. I'm sorry about that. But there was another point at the end called rule number 5. I'm sorry about that. I'm not remembering it at this point. Let's watch the third support video, third clip of this support video. And I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this very interesting, very important topic. You have the strength and power to overcome depression.
Of your destiny. But let me tell you something, life owes you nothing. There is no cosmic justice that guarantees things will turn out well on their own, and there is no divine punishment that has condemned you to suffer eternally. What there is instead is a decision you make every day. Am I going to be a slave to my emotions, or am I going to master them? Am I going to give in to despair, or am I going to resist? Am I going to wait for something or someone to change my life, or am I going to be the one to take control? The Stoics understood that suffering is an inevitable part of existence. What truly defines a person is not whether they suffer or not, but how they face that suffering. Because everyone, without exception, goes through dark times. But some sink into them, and others use them as fuel to strengthen themselves. Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." Do you realize the power of these words? Difficulty is not a punishment. Difficulty is the test that forges the strong and destroys the weak. And you decide which group you will be in. Stop seeking comfort in pity. Stop waiting for a miracle to come. It will not come. No one will save you. Because no one can live your life for you. But if you dare to apply these stoic rules, thank you. If you dare to face the truth, take action, and seek a purpose, then something inside you will change. It won't be easy. It won't be quick. But there will come a day when you look back and realize that the pain no longer defines you, that you used it as a building block instead of an excuse, that instead of weakening you, it made you stronger. On that day, you will understand that true freedom is not in a life without problems, but in the ability to face any adversity with courage and dignity. The question is not whether you can change, you can. The question is whether you are willing to do it. And if you are, then the time to start is now. If you apply these 5 stoic rules, I promise you that your life will change. Not because the world becomes easier, but because you will become stronger. Now the question is, what are you going to do about it? If you've made it this far, it means that something inside you has awakened. A voice telling you that you can't continue the same, that it's time to toughen up.
Yes, that was, again, this is all part of the same support video, 3 different clips. The full support video is 30 minutes. Basically, you have seen it by now. So I took 9 minutes out of it. So basically, most of the most important information is out there on this video. But yes, I mean, on this one, we're going to close with this one. Is the world fair? Is there justice in the world? Well, just ask someone that is dying of hunger in Africa if they feel this is fair. No, of course not. I don't think that's the point. It's not about justice. It's not about if we get a fair deal on this world, okay? As the support video is saying, that will just take you back to the victim mentality to think about. Oh, this is not fair. This is not just. This. I mean, why is this happening to me? Where worse, I can assure you, worse things are happening to other people. So more than focusing on that, is the final point here is this reality is difficult, yes. Is this reality full of pain and suffering and complications and things that set us back, things that will set us, if we allow it, or will set us in the path to depression? Yes, totally. That's why I understand people with depression, because it's honestly, it's even expectable, okay? This world is like that. It's what you listening, if you, I mean, assuming you are sad or depressed or something like that, what you listening are gonna do to change your situation, because you are the only one that can steer the ship and change your own situation. If we put the blame on the outside, on whoever or whatever, if we put the solution or we put the weight or the responsibility of solving this on the out there, on a doctor, on family members, on friends. Oh, my friends don't love me because they're not here with me. When no one, as the support video says, the world owes you nothing, like that, 0. So let's stop asking for outside help. The help is inside. The solution to depression is inside you, and it's you. You are the one that is going to take yourself out of this situation. And it's not, I didn't love that the videos presented all these gentlemen, you know, with big muscles and stoics, and that was a part that, but it was a great 5 rules in a way. I don't see them as rules, 5 suggestions if you want to see it like that, that you have to be strong. That really starts with less complaining, less weight on the outside, less putting blame on external circumstances, less really becoming victimizing ourselves by becoming a victim because we allow it. Okay. Oh, I'm a victim because you're allowing it. I've said for a few years now, it's like someone trying to offend you. Yeah, it's not gonna work if you don't take the legal defense. If they offend you, it's because you're allowed. Period. Same thing with victimization. If you're a victim, it's because you are allowed. No one is a victim in this world. Okay. I know that sounds strange. You're gonna say, "Hey, children dying of hunger are not victims." I know that's a hard one. That's a hard one. But even then, it's like that. It's just the realities of this world. Okay. So thank you very much for watching. This video certainly went a little bit longer than normal, but it was such a deep topic, it's such an important topic, and I had the 3 clips to share. Please ask for all the help you want if you are depressed. I'm not saying it's something to be taken lightly, but I must stick with my guns here. The solution is in you. The final solution is in you. Okay. You're going to notice improvements. You're going to get better with doctors, with even drugs, with support groups. Yes. But at the end, the one that is going to take you out, that the one is going to really clear this completely is you. Okay. And especially once you have left depression behind, when it creeps back and you understand that this is something that is constantly going to be bothering you or constantly going to want it, because yes, it's part of this thing that of course they want us depressed, of course they want us sad, of course they want us in fear, of course they want us upset, of course they want us violent. Yes, that's how we work for them, and being depressed is another way we work for them. So when you leave this truly behind, you're gonna notice it's gonna keep bothering you for the rest of your life, but you're gonna be strong enough and you're gonna know that way now, that yes, this is coming back, but I'm gonna beat it again and beat it again and beat it again by being strong. And stop being a victim, and stop putting blame, and stop thinking that the world owes me something, and stop thinking that the world is fair and just, and just understanding this is reality and I need to do my best just to traverse it. I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. And please, I try to be as respectful as possible of this very unfortunate situation called depression. Everything is okay. I should see you back on Friday. There's a chat to see you on Monday. Take care. Have a great weekend. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover your true self. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version of this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and to serve others. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover your true self? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to the universe. Simply ask, who am I? Where do I come from? What is my purpose? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about this reality start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering your true self equals to real freedom. Your self-imposed limits will fall and you will be ready to understand this reality, but you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will set up a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice through violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions are only your egoic mind and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It's very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Thank you very much for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you'd like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@thealexshow.tv. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.thealexshow.tv. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very